The 5 demigods shifted uneasily. "What Colossus?" Kayla said. "You mean the Colossus of Rhodes?" "No," I said. "The Colossus Neuronis." Cecil scratched his head. "The Colossus Neurotic?" Ellis Wakefield snorted. "You're a Colossus Neurotic, Markowitz. Apollo's talking about the big replica of Nero that stood outside the amphitheater in Rome, right?" "I'm afraid so," I said. "While we're standing here, Nero's going to try to destroy Camp Half-Blood, and the Colossus will be his wrecking crew." Miranda flinched. "You mean a giant statue's about to stomp on camp? I thought the Colossus was destroyed centuries ago." Ellis frowned. "Supposedly so was the Athena Parthenos. Now it's sitting on top of Camp Half-Blood Hill." The other's expressions turned grim. When a child of Ares makes a valid point, you know the situation is serious. "Speaking of Athena," Austin picked some incendiary fluff off of his shoulder, "won't the statue protect us? I mean, that's why she's there for, right?" "She will try," I guessed. "But you must understand, the Athena Parthenos draws her power from her followers. The more demigods under her care, the more formidable her magic. And right now—" "The camp is practically empty," Miranda finished. "Not only that," I said, "but the Athena Parthenos is roughly 40 feet tall. If memory serves, Nero's Colossus is more than twice that." Ellis grunted. "So they're not in the same weight class. It's an uneven match." Cecil Markowitz stood a little straighter. "Guys, did you feel that?" I thought he might be playing one of his Hermes pranks. Then the ground shook again, ever so slightly. From somewhere in the distance came a rumbling sound like a battleship scraping over a sandbar. "Please don't tell me that was thunder," Kayla said. Ellis cocked his head, listening. "It's a war machine. A big automaton waiting ashore about half a click from here. We need to get to camp right now." No one argued with Ellis's assessment. I supposed he could distinguish between the sounds of war machines the same way that I could pick out a tune from a violin in a Rachmaninoff symphony. To their credit, the demigods rose to the challenge. Despite the fact that they'd been recently bound, doused in flammable substances, and staked like human tiki torches, they closed ranks and faced me with determination in their eyes. "So, how do we get out of here?" Austin asked. "The Myrmiki's lair?" I felt suddenly suffocated, partly because I had 5 people looking at me as if I knew what to do. In fact, I didn't. If you want to know a secret, we gods usually don't. When confronted for answers, we usually say something Rhea-like. "You will have to find out for yourself," or "True wisdom must be earned." But I didn't think that would fly in this situation. Also, I had no desire to plunge back into the ant's nest. Even if we made it through alive, it would take much too long. Then we'd have to run perhaps the length of the forest. I stared at the Vince-shaped hole in the canopy. "I don't suppose any of you can fly." They shook their heads. "I can cook," Cecil offered. Ellis smacked him in the shoulder. I looked back at the Myrmiki's tunnel. The solution came to me like a voice whispering in my ear. "You know someone who can fly, stupid." It was a risky idea. Then again, rushing off to fight a giant automaton was also not the safest plan of action. "I think there's a way," I said, "but I'll need your help." Austin balled his fists. "Anything you need? We're ready to fight." "Actually, I don't need you to fight. I need you to lay down a beat." My next important discovery. Children of Hermes cannot rap. At all. Bless his conniving little heart, Cecil Markowitz tried his best, but he kept throwing off my rhythm section with his spastic clapping and terrible air mic noises. After a few trial runs, I demoted him to dancer. His job would be to shimmy back and forth and wave his hands, which he did with the enthusiasm of a tent revival preacher. The others managed to keep up. They still looked like half-plucked, highly combustible chickens, but they bopped with a proper amount of soul.